Today we're gonna talk about the Hall of Fame, who got in, who was our favorite guy that got in, and is this the best LeBron James we've ever seen, y'all? Next on Yeah, I Said It Sports. To the greatest players of all time to ever play. It is the Hall of Fame class of 2021.
Okay, I'm okay with that.
Don't know.
Thought it
I
was
know
trash
where
too,
you started
Darren.
somewhere.
Yeah, Darren thought it was garbage too. That's why you started laughing so hard.
The class of 2021. I'm gonna put it up there for y'all to see. We have Peyton Manning, Charles Woodson, Calvin Johnson, Drew Pearson. Man, don't waited like 30, 40 years.
Okay.
Finally got in. He's actually the last member of their championship team that was an all-pro to get in, which is that's a shame for him to have to wait that long. But hey, he got in. Alan Faneca, guard, Pittsburgh Steelers. Bill Nunn. Bill Nunn gets in as a contributor. He was a scout. He was the guy that was the scout for the Pittsburgh Steelers. He was the guy to say, hey, he was at these black colleges, was like, hey, man, these boys out here do their thing. Y'all better start grabbing these boys. Thus,
Shout out to my niggas.
got the 70s Steelers. I think he's responsible for like multiple Hall of Famers being drafted, which is ridiculous. Another guy, John Lynch, is in, and the last guy is Tom Flores. Man, listen. Out of these guys, who was the guy that you were like, man, I'm so happy for him that he got in? Who was your favorite guy out of this list? Darius. I know you got two guys. Who you taking? You can take more than one. You can take more than one.
Of course, dog. Oh, my dog, Big Allen, bro. Happy for my dog, Big Allen Faneca, man. Bro, this is literally like me growing up, you know, through my teenage years and stuff. Man, my dog was like best guard in the league, damn near, dog. Watch him win him a ship with the bus and all of that good stuff. I was mad when we traded him. You know what I'm saying? Pittsburgh do that bullshit. They would trade you for nothing. You don't want to retire? Well, fuck it. We would trade you. They do not care. But I was definitely happy for him. But aside from being a fan, I was happy for Charles Woodson. Hey, that nigga, I felt like he really deserved that jump, man. I always like watching Charles Woodson, bro. Like, I love defensive players. So shout out to Charles Woodson, man. I had saw when they snuck up on him while he was giving a little interview. They done set him up. Everybody came through on him and stuff, man. So that's them two right there. I got them.
I feel it. Blair, who you got, man? Who's your favorite out of the list, man?
You know he got Charles Woodson.
Yeah, favorite on the list will be C. Wood, bro. The one we knew was getting in was Peyton Manning. You knew Peyton was a clear cut. But C. Wood, like, he deserved a good first ballot, too. So that was what's up, bro. And that's wild because, you know, he played against Peyton and all, Tom and all those dudes. And then they ended up being at the game when he won the Super Bowl. So that was nuts overall. Like, yo, we just saw this dude, like, and he is still playing, bro. And that part is wild. Yeah, it would be C. Wood. I love C. Wood, man. All the way back to the U of M 97 championship. Yes. One of the best Wolverines of all time, bro. I'll never see Wood was man. He was the absolute man. And nobody can take that away from C. Wood. I'm so happy he made it in there. Defensive player of the year, which is super rare. You know what I mean? He did that. So he deserved it, man. He really did deserve it. And he got the Super Bowl ring. Caught the pass. Yeah.
Dang, Chris. Year 97 must have been tough. You was over there grabbing your heart.
And You just don't know. Me and my brother was actually in the mall during that game, and we was like, man, they probably gonna win. We watched the score that he scored and took the punt back. We was in Foot Locker, and it was with my brother's one of his old girlfriends. She'll know who she is. But we was in Foot Locker, and I remember that. I'll never forget it. I felt like crying. I'm like, man, it's some bullshit. I walked out the mall. But my favorite so far out of the list, man, I would probably say I have two. I would say Drew Pearson. I didn't get to see him play, but I've seen that man every year hoping to get in, and he'll be crushed every year. Like, man, I think I'm gonna get in. And I watched it last year, and they had the camera on it, and they announced it, and the man he just broke down, and he was just in tears. I'm like, man, this got to be super hard for this man. This man has been waiting for like almost 30 years to get in, and they walked up on him. This is probably one of my favorite times of years to see these guys get into the hall, man. And they walked up on him, and it was so cool because his quarterback was Roger Staubach. So they had Roger Staubach. I guess him and Jerry invited him down to the stadium or something, and he didn't know that they was coming, and the Hall of Fame guy was there, and he was like, oh, man, and you watch him break down. That's super cool. And my guy, I mean, a lot of these guys, man, Peyton was my guy. I personally think he was the greatest quarterback I had ever seen because he was just
talent-wise, maybe.
I agree, bro. I think Peyton is the greatest regular season quarterback you'll ever see in your life.
Oh, yeah. And
regular season, hands down.
Oh, yeah. And then the thing of it with him is it's not like he ever had a great defense. He had great defenders on his team, but not a great defense. Freeney, Mathis, two great defenders.
Bob Miller.
I love Bob Sanders, bro.
No. That's what I'm saying. I'm at the end. Yeah, I'm talking about throughout his prime years, not the end. Throughout his prime years.
Yeah, you talking about Denver. That's how they won that game.
Yeah, not Denver year. Not Denver year. No, not Denver year.
Yeah, Denver was definitely.
Indianapolis literally was built to play from a lead, bro. They were designed to play from the front. Yeah.
But I would say, I gotta say Seawood. Seawood is from Ohio, even though I did not like him. I cried a little bit when they won the national championship and beat my Ohio State Buckeyes. I think, was we number one that year? I think we probably were, or number three.
Michigan was number one because they won the championship.
Well, after the game, of course.
You said it right, bro. You said it right.
After the game, of course. I think that was probably
they were definitely number one that season. Michigan absolutely was.
Sean, was that the last time they beat us? I mean, something like that. Something like that. I don't know.
It was not. Don't you start them lies, brother. No lies on this show.
My favorite guy to see to get in is Calvin Johnson. Calvin Johnson is easily, for me, the greatest receiver I've seen with my two eyes. That's just for me and mine. Because I've never, ever in my life seen two dudes line up on one man to start the play. And he still scored. Never seen it. So, and I just watched his whole career, man. Like from the beginning, I remember him on draft day, seeing him get drafted. Me and my brother used to record the draft, and he ran across the middle, and he had the quarterback that he was playing with for Georgia Tech was terrible. Threw it way behind.
He run the triple option.
Yeah, no, it wasn't terrible, bro. He wasn't terrible. That was his scheme, though.
Man,
yeah, they ran the triple option.
He wasn't NFL caliber. Can we say that?
He didn't need to be.
I know you.
He was like, bro, when we ask you to throw it to Calvin Johnson and throw it up.
He threw the ball behind this man. This man jumped and caught it behind his body. I've never seen that done, but that was easily my favorite. And watching his interview and him just talking about it, because you don't never really see the emotion, him being emotional, but watching him talk about it, and he just starting to break down as he's talking, like, man, I can't believe that I'm in the fucking Hall of Fame. Like, I was in my yard, and he was talking about how he was in his yard, and we used to play football in the street, and to be in the Hall of Fame. And he just started breaking down. But I know I could go on all day about these guys. But Sean, who is your favorite to see get into the Hall, man?
I'm gonna piggyback on a lot what all y'all said. I would have to say, just to make it sweet and simple, it'd be Calvin Johnson as well. I'm an Ohio boy, true indeed. But I remember not just Charles Woodson, because they came out the same year. If y'all don't remember, Charles Woodson was the third pick, I believe, and Peyton Manning was pick. Then I think Ryan Leaf was second. But then story short, Peyton Manning playing at Tennessee, man. And they, you know, this gonna tell my age. These guys like maybe a year or two older than me. You know what I'm saying? I mean, not a year or two, but you know, saying I was in like high school watching these dudes at Tennessee. So a lot of my old classmates when I was a freshman, they were seniors, played with Peyton Manning to win the national championship. You had Andy McCullough and you had Peerless Price. They both from Dayton, Ohio. So I used to watch a lot of Tennessee games. Peerless Price was a beast, even at Buffalo. You know what I'm saying? He went down to Atlanta, did his thing too. So I watched all of Peyton Manning's career, and growing up in the Midwest, you either seen the Lions game, Cleveland, Baltimore, Indianapolis, you know what I'm saying, or the Bengals. So I watched a lot of his games, and they stood toe-to-toe with the Steelers. They stood toe-to-toe with the Patriots. So that was always like good Monday night games, man. And the thing I like about Peyton, besides the commercials, because I think some of them are hilarious, but the thing I like about Peyton is the dude knew the game so well. I like people that know how to break down the game. You know what I'm saying? So he actually like a defensive coordinator because he know the defense. You know what I'm saying? That what made him so good as a quarterback regular season. But he broke down what was coming to him. So to see him get in there, we all knew he was getting in there. I say that was my number two. But number one is Megatron, bruh. I say Megatron because all the cards were stacked against him. They try to take away this man's career, man. And the backstory is, man, you know, his come from a little bit of what he was so folk childhood to adulthood, and then the trials and tribulations that you went through as a man, and to still get in there, even though you don't have the stats pound for pound as most of the Hall of Famers have. You don't have the rings. But people really understood you, from the reporters to the fans, to know that this dude really deserved to be in there, even though he came from a trash team and didn't have the stats. You know what I'm saying? That says a lot. You know what I'm saying? Not just you as a player, but you as an individual. You know what I'm saying? Because even though he went through all that stuff, he wasn't like the TOs of the world. You know what I'm saying? So I understood why they gave TO some problems in getting in there, because of his behavior and attitude. But he stood tall, man. He was respectful, like what his parents taught him and everything like that. And, I mean, he was one of the most talented wide receivers I ever seen. Would I say he was my favorite or the best? Nah. But, man, he did some things I never seen before. Like, people get excited about Odell. Man, he used to do this every game. Like, they show one highlight of Odell from 5 years ago. He did this every game, bro. And not just on some, like, Hail Mary pass. Do this across the middle on you. So, you know what I'm saying? And that's what I liked about him. And even shout out to, like, your boy Hines Ward. I mean, dude would even block for you. You know what I'm saying? So he did everything in the book. And I believe he deserved to be in there. So that's my favorite, man.
Yeah, man.
And I remember that dude on Madden, too. I still got that one.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
You know, when he's on cover of Madden.
Yeah.
I think Calvin Johnson was the first one and the only player that What you say?
I still got the Eddie George one too.
Ah.
Oh yeah, that was 03.
Yeah.
No, 02.
Yeah. Did I send you the video of Ray Lewis saying that he thinks Eddie George should be in the Hall of Fame along with Fred Taylor?
Nah, but I do remember him saying that.
I like Eddie George for the Hall of Fame. I like him.
That's actually my next question. I know I didn't have this on the docket, y'all, but we have the Hall of Fame. Who would you put in the Hall of Fame? One guy that you guys select for next year that's already eligible. who would you put in the Hall of Fame for next year?
I don't know who's eligible.
I was about to say I don't
know
know
any big names.
Well, somebody that you know that
Well, I know
that should
I'm
be in, but
gonna
that they
argue
haven't.
with what we was talking about in the group the other day, because I saw an article and I thought it was interesting.
Mm-hmm.
Now, I need the people at home to hear me so they know exactly what I'm saying. Calvin Johnson.
Before he starts, this is no diss to anybody that
Yeah,
made it.
this is not a diss. This is not nothing. So like Calvin Johnson is in. I feel like Calvin. I feel like Calvin Johnson deserves it 100%. First ballot Hall of Famer. Definitely feel like he deserved that. The question is not whether Calvin Johnson deserves to be in versus this person, or do he deserve it more than this person or whatever. But the person I'm talking about is Torrey Holt.
Oh, beast.
My thing is, these boys' stats is very similar. So I sent y'all the article. I think it was like Torrey leads in catches and he leads in receptions and yards. Calvin got him beat in touchdowns. Both of them averaged like a half a touchdown a game. I think Torrey averaged 0.5, Calvin averaged 0.6. Calvin Johnson is six-time Pro Bowler. I think like a 3-time All-Pro. Torrey Holt is a 7-time Pro Bowler, 1-time All-Pro, 1-time All-Pro, second team, Super Bowl champion, and them played in 10 postseason games. Their yards are only apart probably about 2,500, but Torrey Holt played, I think, like 2 or 3 more seasons than Calvin Johnson. My biggest thing is, bruh, this man is on his 7th year of eligibility, dog. I feel like if you're going to let Calvin Johnson in, I feel like they got to let Torrey Holt in, man. I feel like he definitely deserved to be in, especially after last year. They let Isaac Bruce in.
That's why Torrey Holt didn't get in, because they let Isaac Bruce in, bro.
But my thing is, I went up and looked up Isaac Bruce stats too. Only thing he really did was have a couple of more yards than him. He didn't have no bunch of Pro Bowls, or none of that. Torrey Holt had all the Pro Bowls. Both of them was champions or whatever. And I understand, they played on the greatest show on turf. You know what I'm saying? But with that being said, you still got to go out there and produce, because it was a lot of ball that needed to go around on that team. You had Torrey Holt, you had Isaac Bruce, and you had one of the best backs ever in Marshall Faulk, who took carries and took catches. And Torrey Holt still put up some crazy numbers, man. So I feel like 7 years is a long time. And if they was going to let Isaac Bruce in, man, they got to put Torrey Holt in there next year. I think he deserved to be in there.
I don't know what the backstory is behind Torrey Holt and why he's not in, bro. It's got to be something.
Mm-hmm.
And see, that's the biggest thing. I know, like, whether people like you has a lot to do with a lot of that stuff. Like what Sean said, that's the reason it took T.O. so long to get on it. Everybody, the question wasn't whether T.O. was going to get in, because we knew he was going to get in. This nigga, like, everybody considered him top 3 receiver of all time. Like, we knew he was going to get in. It's just, how much did your attitude and your antics cost you? It's like, we ain't going to do it because we know you deserve it. Nah, this is our chance to get back at you. Now we eating popcorn. Now we doing sit-ups in our front yard. All sorts of shit. You know what I'm saying? But I'm like, dang, man. And then we be looking at some of these other players. I feel like I said, Isaac Bruce, if he got in, bro, ain't no way you don't put Torrey Holt in, man. Especially if he got all the Pro Bowls and all of that good stuff. And Isaac Bruce only got like 1 or 2 Pro Bowls to his name. And
Well,
he got in.
I would add to that. I do believe Torrey Hope will probably get in this year. I mean, not this year, but you know, next season.
Next season. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I think he would get in because you got to think of it like this. Everybody, that's the greatest show on turf. All the stars from that franchise. I can't think of the safety name. Man, what's his name? But he got in like 2 years ago. You got Orlando Pace, the greatest lineman of all time. He in there. You got Kurt Warner in there. You got Isaac Bruce in there. I mean, it's only right to get that man in there because during those times, and that's what they look at, like how they went with Steel Curtain and etc. So at that time, couldn't nobody stop them boys. You know what I'm saying? So I believe he is gonna get in. It was more buddy in there that ain't been in there for 30 years because of what's going on in the world now. So I think it was more of a pressure on the league to get him in there. And that was probably the reason why it was like him or Torrey Hope. Okay, let's get this guy in here because he been waiting for 30 years. And it's a lot of political stuff. That's a lot of pressure on the NFL right now. Just like opening up all the arenas for this Corona stuff. You know what I mean? So again, as we age and get more wisdom, we got to look at things that go outside the box. You get what I'm saying? So you might be right in it, but as we see Torrey Hope, he is a man of class, you know what I'm saying, and integrity. So I really don't think it's any really true backstory, like with some T.O. situation. I just believe as if they only had so many ballots to get in this year that they had to choose selective candidates.
But to piggyback off of what you said, this is like it's a rough class if you made it in this class, man. Like you said, you had Peyton Manning, Charles Woodson, Calvin Johnson, all them niggas definitely deserved it. Like first ballot, I feel like all of them deserved it. Then, like you said, Drew Pearson, everything that going on, him waiting so long, he definitely deserved it. Alan Faneca, he was waiting for a long time too. He finally got in there.
True.
So I agree for sure.
I think they have an idea what they think you should go when you retire.
Yeah. Where do you, who you got? Who you got, Blair?
Me and this
that's missing.
Yeah, the guy that you think should be in next year.
I have no idea.
Blair gonna say Tom Brady.
They should definitely amend it when Tom retires.
He's waiting. Man. They didn't do it for Peyton. They didn't do it for Walter. He gotta wait.
Yeah, we know they're gonna do it for Tom. They'll be on it.
They didn't do it for Lawrence Taylor.
No, Walter wasn't Tom, and neither was Peyton.
Exactly, because they're better football players.
Tom Brady.
We can have that argument another time.
Later. Yeah, we'll see. I actually don't know. I don't know who's not in that I don't be locking in like that. So I'll have to see a list of people.
I got
you. I normally would do that right now, but I can't because of my issues and technicality. So we're just gonna say I have no idea. Tell me some people that's not in there. I'd be like, yeah, he definitely did. Because I remember when you said that, but I wasn't like.
Who were some semifinalists? Hines Ward, Chad Johnson,
Willie Anderson.
Well, I'll say it like this. So certain dudes, they know they're going first ballot, period. So like when Ed Reed retired, you knew Ed Reed was 5 years later going in.
Yep.
Ray Lewis, when Ray Lewis retired, you knew he was, when Terrell Suggs retires, bro. I think he was still pooping around here not too long ago. And I think he might have. That's what I'm saying.
He snuck him a little championship at
He might have fuddled through. Yeah, last year. I don't know what he's doing this year. But I'm saying once he's officially out, he's in. And I think this class was filled with dudes that's like, those dudes are going the first chance they get. They only picked like 7 people, bro. Like 7 or 8 people. And 3 of them are first ballots. And those other dudes had to get in on the Tom Flores thing. I'm not saying I've never heard of it, but they only started just playing the Coors Light commercials for Buddy Like, did y'all even see those Coors Light commercials during about him and about him getting into the Hall? And he finally got into the Hall, and he, you know, first Latino guy to do this, coach, play, run, got a ring at like all levels, blah, blah, blah. One of the only dudes to do it like that. So he got in. So there was a few people that was at the end of the run, 20, 30 years in. They like, we're going to close this loop. But the problem turns into like when you know clearly that some dudes are going to be first ballot Hall of Famers, it's like those dudes 5 years from now, you can book it, bro. I don't care how many people retire when Tom Brady retires. Tom Brady's going. Somebody's going to miss it because Tom Brady's going. Unless there's so many votes and it's so tight, they're like, we're just going to split a couple of these dudes up. There's going to be some people that get snubbed because some dudes are going to retire, and it's just going to be nothing you can do about it. You have to then decide if that particular dude is first ballot or not. I don't know who misses it. They play the stories every year. You know, they talk about this dude didn't make it. This dude's been chasing it for years. This dude, what makes a Hall of Fame career? A lot of things go into it, but I feel like one of the biggest things is what the media thinks of you. Then and especially now, what your relationship was, how the public perceived you, what type of player they perceived you as. You know, even if you're a really great player, but they perceived you as a slightly dirty dude, you might not get in on first ballot, even if everybody knows you were exceptionally talented. The fact that they called you dirty, you know, your name was Trash Can Mitchell. They like, oh no, Trash Can was dirty. We can't get him in on the first go round just because he was known as the Trash Can. We're gonna have to make him wait. They do stuff like that, bro.
Yeah, they do. I agree with that. Sean, who you got? I fear that we're gonna have the same guys, but who you got? I got one in particular.
I'm trying to stick away because I know people that watch the show or listen to the show, they be like, man, these boys be on this Ohio or Midwest thing. I mean, I'm trying to stick away from saying, I'm gonna say it anyway, Eddie George. Even my boy Chad Ocho motherfucking Cinco with the best footwork in the NFL. You know, guys like that. But see, it's guys, I'm gonna say a few names: Richard Seymour, Tony Baselli, Steve Smith Jr. No, Senior, my fault. Steve Smith.
I don't think he's eligible just yet. I think he's
out.
This one be year
man,
5?
bro, you just said off the top.
I think, yeah, I know off the top. Yeah. I'm just saying.
He ain't been out 5 years yet?
Nah, I think he's been out like 4. Steve Smith.
I feel like it's only been like 2 or 3, bro.
Probably.
Steve Smith?
Yeah. Because he was playing with the Ravens.
He only played
the Panthers.
with them.
It's been about 3-4 years.
About what, 4 years ago?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
He went somewhere after he left.
They was in the Super Bowl
bro.
Ago, bro. He went to the Raiders for 2 years.
Yeah.
2 or 3 years.
I think he finally eligible now. I think he finally eligible yet.
He might be eligible next year because he only went for 2. Because remember,
he ain't going first ballot. Get that up. They ain't first balloting Steve Smith, bro.
Nah, he ain't gonna go first ballot. But how about Reggie Wayne? Come on, Sean. Andre Johnson, bro. That's my guy. Well, no, that's Darius' guy. But I'm saying he deserved first ballot.
But why you thinking? I got one.
I don't want that was my guy.
And I gotta go hard on him because don't nobody be talking about him. And this is my guy.
Willie Anderson.
Well, not even Willie. This guy actually had problems with Willie when he wanted to leave. My guy is Corey Dillon.
Oh, good.
Corey Dillon.
Oh, my fault, man.
Listen to me, Darius. When he retired, he was 15th all time in NFL rushing yards. Everybody ahead of him was already in the Hall of Fame. You know the guys that's only ahead of him now? You got Frank Gore. He's going to go in. You got Adrian Peterson, still number 20. Adrian Peterson, he's going in. First ballot. Fred Taylor, I'm sorry. Fred Taylor, and Steven Jackson, which I didn't even realize Steven Jackson had more.
Man, he was a
Jerry Dillon.
beast, bro. I
My
forgot
buddy
about
was
Steve.
a beast. He just had such a short spurt, man.
Yeah,
Ooh.
and that short spurt was serious.
All right.
Yeah, Jackson was an animal,
But
bro.
Corey Dillon ranks 20th all time in NFL rushing yards. And it's not just the fact that he's 20th for me. It's the fact that he played for the Cincinnati Bengals and everybody knew who's getting the ball every damn play, and he still did it. That's greatness. For me, my guy, Corey Dillon, because don't nobody talk about him because people don't like the fact that he decided he wanted out of Cincinnati and everybody started crapping on his name. So
He wanted to win.
He went to Indianapolis, rushed for 1,600 yards. People don't want to talk about it. For Tom Brady, won him a Super Bowl. I
You
got
talking about the Patriots,
New
bro?
England. Yeah, you said Indianapolis.
He combined both of those things.
Yeah.
nigga.
I mean,
You just sing blue.
Yeah. For Tom Brady and the Patriots, rushed for 1,600 yards. Gotta go with my guy because don't nobody talk about him. Everybody ahead of him on this list is in the Hall of Fame already, just about. Or
I had his
He
jersey.
might go. He ain't going no time soon.
But that's what I'm saying. You got to bring these guys up. Listen, when people
Dude,
play
when
for
you play
bad
on a butt
teams,
team, when you play on a butt team, and your teams didn't do well in general, unless you were unless people understand how good you were on such a garbage team, that's how Calvin got in. Because they're like, yeah, no, Calvin could have been because they see what Calvin could have been if he'd played on anybody but the Lions or played on any organization that wasn't a terrible one. They're like, this dude would have killed the game, and he did what he did, and he only did it under those circumstances. So when you play for a butt team, you'll get in, and you might get first ballot. Corey Dillon ain't getting it. Corey Dillon wasn't a fan favorite, bro. They're not putting him in no time soon. He might eventually get in off sheer number and line, but I don't think they're gonna let Corey in, bro. I really don't think they think Corey was a great running back.
They're not gonna let him get in because they don't. It's called a vendetta. The same thing they did to Terrell Owens. The same thing they do to a lot of players. They're like, look, you had a bad reputation when you was playing. You're gonna wait however long you got.
Yeah, they'll definitely hold it against you.
And also think about it like this: how many other running backs is gonna even run for 10,000 yards now that everybody passing the ball?
You gotta be a two-way back. They're gonna start looking at running backs as more of a complete package. It's gonna be more about total yards from scrimmage.
Yeah, probably so.
Kind of like how they do in the college game, I think.
Somebody's gonna get to 1,000 or 10,000 is whoever can rush the best and the longest. It's not gonna be like it won't happen again, bro.
About to do it.
It's not like it won't. If a good running back comes along, they're going to run the ball. That's how football works. If you don't have a good running back, they try to do it by committee.
It's just now
the dudes have to take the pounding and be able to go for years to get to those numbers.
Yeah, you just got to be like that stupid freak of nature now, like Derrick Henry, that nigga, that freak of nature. And he's 6'4".
Is he gonna be able to keep it up? Is usually the thing. Is can they keep those seasons going? Because as a running back, you usually get about 10 of them.
And I think they'll look at more total yardage because I think at the end of Alvin Kamara's career, he might have a Hall of Fame career. And I feel like he's going to be one of them guys. They're going to be like he was like Marshall Faulk. Like, yeah, he get about 25 touches a game. That keep him fresh because only like 10 of them is actually running downhill. Rest of them, he catching them in space, making people miss. And he still don't go down off of first contact. So that might help keep some of these running backs fresh going to that passing game.
Yeah,
I don't think it won't be another one, man. I think it'll be several. They'll be really good when they come.
So right now, Derrick Henry is at 100 at 5,800 yards. Todd Gurley's at 92 with 6,000.
Is that 92 touchdown?
Oh no, that's where he ranks in all-time rushing.
Okay.
Alfred Morris is 85. And check this out. Ezekiel Elliott is 77. and Le'Veon Bell at 76.
If Ezekiel Elliott could make it to a different team, I feel like he probably could eclipse it because I think he still got some
Yeah.
juice left. I just think
Yeah.
the Cowboys got too much going on, man.
He only what, like 27?
Yeah.
He extra young.
Yo,
Yeah,
he like
when y'all
26.
won that
Yeah.
championship, 2014?
Mm-hmm.
I'm
Yeah.
thinking he only like 25, bro.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
He
I
just
think
he had a bad year.
Yeah, their
Yeah.
whole offensive line is hurt. But last subject of the day though, so we can wrap this up and get up out of here. It might be some disagreement. I don't know how y'all feel about it, but we got to talk about it.
You gonna say
So, I was watching a podcast, and it was Gilbert Arenas' podcast. Shout out to Gilbert, really good podcast. And he had Dwayne Wade on there, and Dwayne Wade asked Gilbert Arenas this question. So they have a segment where they say you can ask Gilbert anything. So Dwayne Wade says, Gilbert, I've been watching LeBron James play his whole entire career. And right now, I got to ask you this question because of the way he's playing. Do you feel that this is the best LeBron James that we've ever seen? Because the one that I played with in Miami, he shot 40% from three, but he still had a couple locks to his game, and he didn't want to go down low. This dude right here, he's a threat. As soon as you pass half court, he'll shoot it from the logo. He can post you up. He can do it from the inside or the outside, mid-range. The only thing that he ain't done well to this point so far is shoot free throws. And right now he's shooting 72%. But he ain't at 80. So the question I'm posing to y'all is this the best LeBron James that we have ever seen as far as a complete package, offensively and defensively? Because if you didn't know, defensively, he's actually ranked number one on all in on-ball defense right now in the entire NBA. That's better than Kawhi, everybody. I did not know that until I looked it up. But how do y'all feel? Sean, you the local Laker fan here. I got to ask you first. Is this the best LeBron James you've ever seen?
It depends on what we're talking about, bro. If we're talking about as a passer, yes.
Well, complete
if
game.
we talking about defense,
complete game.
No. Miami LeBron was a different beast, in my opinion, because he took over the game. The Laker LeBron, he makes his team better. You get what I'm saying? It's a difference, man. Like, I ain't gonna say it's hard to explain, but right now at this moment, since you put me in the spot, it's hard to put in words. What I say is for LeBron's complete game, he doesn't have a better complete game, but if I was the opposing coach, would I fear this LeBron more than the Miami Heat LeBron? Nah. That Miami Heat LeBron, I'm terrified of. This LeBron, you can really slow down everybody outside of him. You know what I'm saying? But I don't know. I don't know if I'm really explaining that correctly. So I would say as a LeBron fan, I salute him for his age and what he's doing to right now. Is he still like one of the best players in the league? Yes. Is this the best LeBron I ever seen? No.
Okay, that's fair. That's fair. Blair. What you think, man?
I don't know, man.
Tough, man.
I would probably say no, but I understand why people want to say yeah. They just have to say something. And since he ain't just straight falling off, they go with what can we come up with to sound good about LeBron. But as far as the best LeBron ever do, I don't. And that, I guess it depends on what you're looking for from your LeBron, bro. So if you had the type of LeBron, it's probably Miami LeBron. It probably is Miami LeBron, the one that did everything. So no, I'll say it was Cleveland LeBron. Bro. Cleveland LeBron was the one that was after Miami, the one after Miami, not before Miami. The LeBron after Miami was pretty he knew what was necessary to win, and he went to go win. Like there was no plan about it. It was this is what it takes. It was no more, you know, all the fun and games, even in Miami, had stopped. But it was straight up, I'm just trying to win. And at that point, you could clearly see he had a focused goal. He really was trying to win in Cleveland, and that's what was pushing him to play the way he was playing. Like he played very well, because if he didn't, they don't win those. Or that one that he got in Cleveland, they don't win that if he wasn't playing lights out. Now he had help, of course, but the one in Cleveland was the one that was fully operational outside of Miami.
Yeah, I think I'm agree with you there, because I was really thinking about it, because I see how people say that this LeBron is better than the Miami LeBron because he's a better shooter, and he's shooting 40% from the field, and he's shooting more than he was when he was with Miami. And Dwayne is like, yeah, he goes down low now. There's nothing that he can't do except for free throws. I get that. But the thing of it for me is, that Cleveland LeBron, man, listen, man. I seen that Cleveland LeBron go to levels that I didn't even think was possible. And the team was messing stuff up for him, and he was like, all right, I'm gonna make up for that mistake. Like we literally had a conversation. Me and Darius literally had a conversation right before the game. Like, there's no way that LeBron could win this finals. He might get a game, but I doubt if he can even do that. And then I said, what he has to do is go out there and play on what? God level. And this nigga went out there and played on God level, and they messed it up for him. And I'm like, look, man, I ain't never seen nobody like that. The LeBron now, I think he paces himself more. He thinks he thinks through every game. Like, I ain't really got to go hard on this game. I ain't really got to go hard on the defensive end. Where that Cleveland LeBron was like, look, y'all need me to hit this game winning shot. I'm gonna hit it. All right, y'all think y'all about to win this game, Toronto? You're not. Bang. Let's go home. That dude was on another level. That guy was on another level. I gotta say, Cleveland LeBron was the best I've ever seen. Darius, what you think, man?
Man, well, since Blair done got you to flip your wig,
No.
you know, it's like, bruh, the Cleveland LeBron, now, the LeBron we got now, if you talking about just being complete, now,
He might be.
yes, I feel like now we have the most complete LeBron that we have. But that dude that had left Miami and went back to Cleveland, like, this was the LeBron that niggas was like, oh, you supposed to be this and supposed to be that. Show me that. That was that LeBron, bro. He had that made up in his mind, like, nah, bro, I'm LeBron James, and bro, it's gonna go down the way I want it to go down. That's what he was doing. Like you said, when he was there, and he went through, I feel like that's when he went through the most. Like, he only won one championship. 1 year, Kyrie and Kevin Love was hurt. Without Kyrie and Kevin Love, everybody's automatically thinking, man, LeBron can't take this team back to the finals by himself again. And he did that shit 3 years in a row. The whole time he was back in Cleveland. Like, it wasn't no, you ain't got to worry about what LeBron gonna do. LeBron gonna be LeBron. We need to worry about how we gonna stop everybody else. That was his moment. Just like when they was like, hey, Jordan gonna be Jordan. We need to worry about what we gonna do to the rest of them. Kobe gonna be Kobe. We need to worry about what we gonna do to the rest of these. This is when, bro, LeBron gonna be like, what are we gonna do, LeBron? We gonna let him get his 30 whatever and his fucking 12 rebounds, and we gonna try to make sure he don't get no assists, because he is gonna duck his head, right? He gonna give you that shoulder. Like, he is being 6'8", fucking 265 fucking monster when he was doing that shit, bro. And this nigga, there's no way this team should have beat the Warriors. I don't care what nobody say. There's no way this team should have beat the Warriors, bro. No way, dog.
Nah.
The Warriors was fucking ridiculous, bruh. Ridiculous. Shooting lights out. What's the name? Missed one game. Draymond Green missed one game. That game shouldn't have mattered because we still had game 6 and game 7. This nigga LeBron literally said, bro, we not fucking losing. Like, that's just gonna be it. We not fucking losing this shit. I'm not losing to these niggas. And they didn't lose to these niggas. Kyrie hit a big shot, don't get me wrong. Kyrie had 41 in one of them games, don't get me wrong. But when you do all of that, and one dude still lead both teams in points, rebounds, assists, steals, and blocks, man, it's over with, bro. This is the LeBron championship, nigga. This is the LeBron championship.
Yeah.
So, after, yeah, I agree with you. After Cleveland, after Miami, when he went to Cleveland, that's definitely the best Bron I seen, dog. Like, that nigga was untouchable, bro. That nigga was untouchable. If I could pick a spot where nobody could have beat Bron ever, I don't care, Jordan, Kobe, whoever, it would have been them couple of years, them 3 years right there. Like, you couldn't touch that man, bro. He was too good. And he didn't need all them other parts to his game because he was so dominant at what he could do.
Doomed.
Like, nigga, if I decide to duck my head, bitch, you better watch out for the shoulder. That's what you better do. It's about to be an and one. I'm about to dunk this shit.
Right.
It was literally like Shaq-ish. Like, I get to do. Whenever I decide to do this, is what it's gonna be. You don't like it? Too bad.
And Cleveland live or die with it because it got them to 3 straight finals, nigga. Fuck it.
Yep. That's gonna do it this week, guys. We appreciate y'all for watching. Continue to like, share, subscribe, and hit the notification bell so whenever we upload a video, you'll know.
Ding.
Yes, you know that we here.
Talk to us because we talk back.
Yes, most definitely.
Right.
And by the way, I had a couple people hit me up, said they want some baseball, Blair. They said they want baseball.
I'm with it.
That's
Okay.
that's what Jesus said. He's like, man, I want some baseball, y'all. I want y'all to talk about some baseball.
Real
Hey,
boy.
Bruce wants some baseball.
Yeah, because I'll be watching some baseball, but
All right.
we gotta say before we get off, RIP to my guy, Marty Schottenheimer.
Bro, I thought you was about to say Pedro Gomez.
That and Pedro
And Pedro,
and
man.
Pedro Gomez, man.
Oh, for sure.
I used to watch Pedro all the time, giving him the insight, giving you that insight on that baseball. And you be like, oh, okay. You know, if you miss a couple days, don't worry about it. Pedro gonna catch you up real quick. So, man, RIP to my guys, man. We appreciate y'all, all the effort that y'all put in. Thank you. But continue to like, share, and subscribe. We'll holler at y'all till next time. Deuce.